Good morning and happy Saturday, everyone. Let's see, what do I say for my low and high in act of kindness? Well, I suppose for my low, I would definitely have to point out the fact that, yesterday when we went out for my brother's birthday, which is my high, but I'll get to that later, I'll get to that in a moment. We go out for my brother's birthday, and one of my nephews is actually sick. Like, he really wouldn't eat much. Like, no fever, no chills, just like kind of like a stomach bug, sort of loss of appetite sort of thing going on, right? And when we actually do, well, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but yeah, whatever. I mean, he did eat some things. I shouldn't say he did. I mean, he had water. He had some bread, I think. He had, we went to dinner at Sorges, by the way. And, I think for him it ultimately came to a head when, they brought out the, cake. And my mom got to have a birthday cake from Wegmans. It was a very good birthday cake. Yeah, actually, a fun fact about Wegmans cakes, they used to do like half chocolate, half vanilla. Now, like, pretty much any cake they do is, marbled. That's basically like you have like white cake with chocolate swirls in it. Or is it chocolate cake with white swirls in it? You decide. So, long story short, my nephew had to throw up. And it did make a bit of a mess on the table and some on the floor and on himself. And some of it actually got on my mom and my sister-in-law when they were trying to clean it up. Yeah, I feel horrible. I really do. I mean, listen, I'm an uncle. I know my nephews aren't going to be 100% healthy 100% of the time. But, you know, it just sort of, it gives you a real perspective when, you know, not everyone is going to be healthy when during times of, you know, great importance, like, again, celebrating my brother's birthday. I mean, I know that. Of course I know that. I mean, literally, like, after the halfway point in March, I got sick not once, but twice. So, trust me, I know a thing or two about getting sick. I just feel really bad. I mean, luckily, the rest of the evening really was wonderful. I mean, got to celebrate my brother's birthday at Sorges, and the best part is, this was the first Friday I was allowed to have meat on Friday. I mean, in a perfect world, we would have been in a situation where we would have eaten like wings or something, but few things trump wings, and one of them is a really good steak. So I got myself the Delmonico, like I always do, but it was on a Friday. Man, there's some having steak on a Friday night that just, it's feasting, you know? Unless you're a vegan, in which case you can probably ignore what I'm saying. But it was really, really good, for sure. Yeah, it was honestly a very, very good meal. I've got no complaints one way or the other. It was fantastic. So that's my low, my high. And my act of kindness was, you know, obviously I still had to watch my nephews, play with my nephews. I did a few things for my grandma yesterday. And actually, it was a very nice celebration at Sorges. It was, obviously my brother, because, you know, he's the birthday boy, his wife, all three of my nephews, my mom and dad, myself, my grandmother and grandfather, and my cousin who brought them over. So we had 11 people in all. I was actually kind of wondering like where we were gonna sit because Sorges has a really good booth. Problem is though, it's the kind of booth where like it's a really long booth, so if you're in the middle and you have to do something like leave to go to the bathroom, you're stuck. Like everybody else has got to move before you can move, so not entirely ideal. There's also one table that they have by the window that faces the front on Market Street, that faces Market Street. I was actually kind of thinking we'd sit there, but no. They actually can set a few tables like right in front of the door, and that's where we sat. And it was wonderful. It was really good. You know, I got and thanks to my cousin, I got to hear about, you know, other members of my family who, you know, are either still in town or out of state. Like I have a few family members who are in Virginia at the moment. One of them actually works like 20 minutes away. I think it's like 20 minutes away from the state capitol. Yeah, like, he's like right in Washington, D.C. Pretty cool, huh? So it's nice to see family and hear about that stuff more. Even better because I'm going to be seeing more of my family tonight. Because we are celebrating a very special birthday. Like, I guess in a way this person is my cousin. I do not know the specific title for how this person and I are related. But they're turning 80. Actually, they turned 80 this past Monday. But we're celebrating their 80th birthday today. Even more interesting is where we are going to celebrate. And trust me, if you watch my live vlogs and you watch my videos in general, you're gonna be hearing this story at least like 2 more times after this. But the place where we're going tonight for dinner is a place called 1157 North. Now, even before it opened, I already heard some very good things about this place. And from the time it's been opened, I've heard nothing but good things about this place. But here's where things get interesting. Because I've both been there, but I haven't been there. Curious, right? See, believe it or not, 1157 North used to be a place called the Palms. Palms like the way you would normally spell palms. Now, the Palms, I actually have some very good memories of this place. The widow of the original owner of the Palms, at one point, was actually my elementary school principal at St. Mary Mother. We went to the Palms to celebrate after my brother had his baccalaureate ceremony at Notre Dame High School, right before he graduated. And for me personally, I actually took my date to junior prom there. And what's even more impressive is my date to junior prom just so happened to be the very person who won senior prom queen just over a month prior at Horseheads. Again, I don't know how I got lucky. Oh, really it's a combination of me being incredibly lucky and this person was an absolute saint. I wonder how she's doing. I haven't seen her in years, so I don't know. But needless to say, I have my fair share of good memories involving the Palms. So needless to say, when the Palms closed, I think this entire area had like a collective heart-sinking feeling because the Palms really was a very, very good place. Not quite to the level of Libs, but somewhere you can consider like right below it. So either way, you're getting something incredibly good. In fact, personally, if the Palms were still around now, I would say like the Palms, Hilltop Inn, and Rye Bar and Grill would be like the Trinity. Like the three things, like those three places, and then Libs is right above it. That's what I'm thinking. That's from my perspective. So needless to say, I've yet to be at 1157 North. It's possible after I go tonight, it may not be part of the Trinity. Possibly, could it be bad? You would think I would have that worry, but I don't. And I'll tell you why. And it actually has to do with what I alluded to earlier about even before it opened, I've heard nothing but good things. And here's why. I mentioned that the widow of the original owner at one point was my elementary school principal. And she was also the hostess there. Yeah, I forgot to mention she was the hostess there. Sorry. But she was also the hostess there, right? Now, when the Palms closed, someone obviously had to buy the property in order to remake it into what 1157 North is now. Here's where it gets good. Believe it or not, the people who own 1157 North actually went to the widow of the original owner of the Palms. And they talked to her, and obviously I don't know all the details, but pretty much they're like, listen, we know that you and your husband left an incredible legacy in this area. We want to continue that legacy, obviously, but we want to do our own thing as well. Please tell us how to do right by you, and we will do it. We will make sure that the legacy that you and your husband left remains intact. And it's still gonna be a place to go to eat for years to come. When that happens, when you actually go get the blessing of essentially the widow of the original owner, you know you gotta be doing something. You gotta be doing something right. Absolutely, you gotta be doing something right. So needless to say, the fact I'm finally going to 1157 North tonight, I'm not only very excited, I really do consider this a big deal. I really do. Partly because of all the memories I just said I had earlier. Partly because of what the people who own 1157 North now did prior to opening. Again, going to the widow for essentially her blessing, which really is about as good a thing as you could possibly do. I mean, literally everything is looking about as good as you could ever hope for this place. So, honestly, the question remains, what am I going to get? I mean, listen, we live in a day and age where social media and the internet have allowed people to look up menus online. So, of course, I've already taken a look at the menu of 1157 North to see what I'm going to order. And while I have an idea of what I'm going to order, here's what my strategy is going to be for tonight. Because there's going to be a bunch of people there. My father, myself, both my grandparents, and a whole bunch of my other relatives. I'm thinking we're going to have, I'd say at least a dozen people, give or take. Actually, funny enough, these are the same family members where when we went to the harbor for Easter brunch a week ago, my cousin says, this is pretty much what it's going to be, but just us in the room. She jokingly said that, but I mean, the Palms is actually the Palms was a rather quiet, intimate place, and if 1157 North is doing anything that the Palms did, I wouldn't be surprised if they're following that suit as well. So anyway, my strategy is, I'm going to wait to order last. Because personally, if I'm going to a new place, and I really do see, because again, I looked at the menu 1157 North. It's online. You can look it up. It's on Facebook. They have it. Seriously, 1157 North has a Facebook page. You should totally look it up. Like, I looked at the menu. I see, okay, pretty much, I saw the menu. Everything on that menu looks incredible. Straight up. Like, I get the feeling I could order virtually anything on that menu, and I will not complain. But I want to see what everyone else orders first. Because I really am like my father in the sense that I am kind of cheap. So I really did want to so I'm looking at the menu and I'm eyeing, okay, what's the best possible thing, both size-wise, flavor-wise, and what's going to give me a more satisfying meal, but also for a very decent price. And I'm pretty sure I found something. But again, I want to wait and see what everyone else orders first. Because if they order things more expensive than I will, then I'm not going to have a problem ordering what I do think. Because if they order like the more expensive stuff, I might consider doing that more. But right now, I feel comfortable. Like, at the moment, I can feel comfortable ordering what I'm about to get regardless. Now, if what everyone gets is cheaper than what I'm getting, then I'm going to have to rethink what I'm going to get. That's really the only downfall. But I have an idea. Now I just have to execute it. So yeah, I am very excited for tonight. And believe me, when I get to, I just noticed this. You can actually see the table where, yeah, that's the table right there. It's where my camera's laying. I guess it isn't there. You can see the table there. Sorry. So, I have a plan. I know what I'm going to do. I'm very excited about going to 1157 North. And believe me, when we get to my live vlogs later tonight, I am going to be telling you all about it. And if you're going to miss my live vlogs on Facebook, trust me, I'll be talking about it in tomorrow's video as well. I told you you're going to be hearing that story at least twice more, so there you go. I hope you like this video. If you did like this channel, YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video for all of you guys watching. Joe for today. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Remember, if you want to talk channels, we're here to let me know. Always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.